let it slide. No problem.
Yeah.
What can I get you? Oh, it's a good choice.
A popcorn.
All right, no problem. What will that be? $4.
And then any donation that you'd like to make to the beer, we're happy to accept. And I'll do the last dollar. That is
Oh,
fabulous.
thank you so much. It's very nice.
For the kids for class. Very much appreciated.
Okay.
That's not every day you're offered a molasses. Thank you very much.
Hello, how are you? Oh, good. What can we do? Cool. Yeah.
And then they're really hard to tell. So the last one is the darker one. And then how much did you pay?
Oh, you got it.
Thank you very much. Very nice to you.
Yeah. It seems like we came here. But I don't know, maybe if we did just no, I wanted to see it. I ended up not knowing that. I think I was. You know, when we went to see Jordan Peterson, they said, you have to have all that stuff. So we went and got the test. Is that the April? Yeah, and then they never changed us. So it's like kind of white, but I'm like, okay, like we went on our way to Clovis and never came up. Yeah.
And she's back. Hello. Yeah, you did.
Serious?
Yeah.
When you're in New York?
Sure, go for it. Yeah, go for it. That actually even it out.
Yep, perfect. Cool. Sorry.
Hello. Yes, $1 for the walk. Very nice, George. Thank you.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm not comfortable.
Everything is $1 except for the coffee. Yeah, of course, go for it. Thank you very much, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. They took out that light time. Oh, so I took a couple of pictures so that if there's like a weird class or something, you can clean it up.
No.
Yeah, I got something to do on sticky notes, I think. I don't know. Yeah, I got these data, like, so I can get some of it, I didn't like to use them.
Yeah, I forgot them. I got updating my phone. Or I don't not
great deal to discuss. Moriarty's words will forever be burned into my memory. This is the singular, most terrifying moment I have ever experienced up until this point. Never, in all of our years working together, have I ever seen Holmes so unnerved. I was worried about him. I was worried for Miss Adler and Mrs. Hudson. But most of all, I was worried about Mary. I promised I would keep her safe, and I was faithful.
Thank you, Mrs. Hudson. Please go and attend to your tea in the kitchen.
Yes, Mr. Holmes.
Cautious, I see.
Mrs. Hudson's tea is just the thing for relaxing at night. Please do take a seat.
Oh, I would rather stand. Quite the diverse group you have here tonight. Celebrations, I see. I do hope I have not intruded.
Unfortunately, you have. I would ask, Mr. Moriarty, that you pay me the courtesy of stating your business in the most laconic manner.
Mr. Holmes, you have been to university. You should know that the proper form of address is Professor Moriarty. I presume my reputation precedes me.
Fortunately, I am the only one fully aware of your many accolades.
I shall be direct. Despite the vastness of the city of London, our paths have crossed many times. We have collaborated on several works, leading to favorable outcomes on your behalf.
My ability to modify situations is a great talent of mine. One that I will continue to use.
Indeed, I fear the day the city will no longer have the astute Mr. Holmes to come to its aid, though I do see quite a litany of individuals to answer the call, such as Dr. Watson, or Miss Adler, was it?
Miss Adler, would you please close the window and pull the curtains? There is such a delicate draught.
If you insist.
Thank you. And do feel free to relax a bit closer to the fireplace.
Quite prudent of you, Mr. Holmes, looking out for the comfort of your guests.
That. It is winter, and this building has a frightful tendency to lose heat so very easily. I really must have Mrs. Hudson see to this.
John, something is not right. I cannot place why.
We shall just do as Holmes taught us.
Quite touching, the faith you have in Mr. Holmes.
Oh, sure. There is no need to disturb my guests. They have little impact on this matter.
Oh, but I should hate to ignore them, now that I've had the pleasure of meeting them. Nevertheless, on to the matter at hand. I have come to inform you that I have been able to overcome the obstacles presented by Ryman and Mavely. I intend to see my theory worked out to the very end, no matter what difficulty may present itself. I am curious. Will you be following along?
Completely. I am not one to shy away from a problem, no matter how daunting it may appear.
Academic work? Holmes, a museum is engulfed in flames.
Doctor, do indulge the gentleman. One may never know when such theoretical work may have practical implications.
Ah, Miss Adler, I see you two are a patron of mathematical inquiry.
I'm a quick learner. I tend to notice patterns.
Very wise. One can always use a mathematical analysis to avoid a pendulous situation. It is indeed fortunate you were unable to attend this evening's rehearsals. Oh well, it's getting quite late, Mr. Holmes. I believe we both have a greater understanding now I will see myself out.
Have no fear. I will be cheerfully engaged in work.
Even if it resolves both our endeavors?
Well, if both of our endeavors come to be resolved, I would gladly accept that outcome.
And with the stalwart, Mr. Holmes, I can only hope your friends can appreciate the situation. Good night, Mr. Holmes.
Oh, this is unbelievable.
Be ready to leave in a moment,
Says Mr. Holmes. I don't even know why we're leaving. I am being forced to turn my house upside down. Oh, I really must take some of this.
Take only the essentials, Mrs. Hudson.
This is essential.
In other words, dress only to stay warm, no bags. We don't have long. He has many in his service.
But what good will leaving Baker Street do? The city will be in chaos with those explosions.
Holmes, what the devil is going on? Why the rush to leave? Surely that conversation could have been purely about mathematics.
Not at all, Doctor. In fact, quite the opposite.
I didn't like him, not one bit. You mark my word. There was some sort of affectation to him.
Ah, Mrs. Hudson, that man was the most dangerous man in all of London, perhaps Europe.
And we allowed him to simply walk off and leave?
The map, Mrs. Adler.
For our own safety, Mr. Holmes allowed him to leave for our own safety. Doctor, I would advise you and your wife to stay well away from the windows. A stray bullet would do little for the mood. Kerosene, perhaps?
Stray bullet.
Do you mean there are snipers?
I'm afraid so. Belgravia, then.
We are too familiar with that area. Moriarty would no doubt anticipate such a retreat.
Retreat? We cannot simply leave.
There is no other recourse. That man, that spy, is in control of all the criminal underpinnings in London. To face him is to face the Hydra. We must leave.
I will not be threatened.
Oh, a very noble and foolish sentiment. One that you should reconsider as you fetch you and your wife's coats.
Oxford, then.
Ah, yes.
But that's where the fire is.
Why do you think he burned down the museum?
I don't know, to avoid getting caught with the forgeries.
It's not that simple. We fell right into this trap. Beneath the city are thousands of tunnels, most forgotten, others completely inaccessible due to new buildings.
If you look at the map, you can see the nexus point just beneath the museum.
So not only does he destroy all the evidence, but he can access an entire network of tunnels.
He will have unfettered access to the waterways. His ability to smuggle goods will increase tenfold.
Holmes, who is this man?
Have you not been listening? He is the Napoleon of crime, Professor James Moriarty. And we have the dubious honor of drawing his umbrage. We must leave at once and reassess our options.
I don't wish to leave my home.
I am not certain what we're up against, Mrs. Hudson, but if Holmes says we must, it is our only course of action.
Very well if we must, but should we run into that professor again, I'll give him a piece of my mind.
Our movements must be quick and decisive. Do not hesitate and do not linger.
John, if the unthinkable should happen,
It won't.
you cannot promise such things.
I have spent too much of my life chasing happiness for it now to... I will not lose it.
We do not have time for idle chat. Move.
This cold will be the death of me.
Don't tarry, Mrs. Hudson.
Mary!
Mary! Doctor, we have to get out of the street.
I have to help my wife.
Keep moving.
Couldn't we just please sit down for a moment? We cannot stop.
There is no point in racing us like horses. We are safe here as we are anywhere.
Fine, but only for a moment.
How can you be so calm?
I've been hunted before, by police and criminals alike.
You're a wanted woman.
If only things were so black and white, I have been called worse.
Do you think Mary is all right?
I will not coddle you, doctor, and as such, I have no words of comfort. Mary may be fine, or she may be dead. It is a hard reality you will have to face. If I were you,
You
I would...
should be ashamed of yourself. You act so cold and cruel. That's wrong. I may be a simple woman, but if you continue not caring about others, then you're just a monster.
It's pointless to worry about others. In the end, you will always be alone.
That's not true. Dr. Watson could have left us, but he stayed. Mr. Holmes, as temperamental as he is risking his safety for ours.
What good does it do me?
Everything.
She's right. For the longest time, I sought no company. It changed me to meet people like Holmes and Mary.
You think they care for you? Your wife was just looking for adventure, and Holmes uses you like a plaything.
I am astonished by your moronic understanding of people. One so gifted as yourself cannot see what is clearly right in front of them.
I see things very clearly.
Do you? I can hardly agree. You fail to see the slightest human compassions because you find them superfluous. I feel no anger towards you, madam. I pity you and all the joy in this world you will miss. You're right. I don't know what is happening to Mary, but I know this, that Sherlock Holmes will not give up on her. And I won't give up on him, or even you.
What a touching speech, Dr. Watson. I must say, you cut me quite to the bone with your wordplay.
Mr. Douglas, what is the meaning behind this?
Oh, my dear, it means you have been duped.
Do explain.
If I were you, I would take very precautionary steps. You see, there are armed and beasted gentlemen at the ready. Make any false step, or otherwise irritate me in any way, and one signal from me is all it takes.
Beast? Signal? You're a military man?
Quite right. Colonel Sebastian Moran of the 1st Bangor Pioneers.
Colonel Moran? You're famous for your iron, steady will. You even chased a man-eating tiger. You're an honorable man. Why would you assist Moriarty?
It seems you know far more than I give you credit for, Doctor. As for the why and the wherefore, that's rather simple. I grew tired of always being the good soldier, always doing what I was told. Moriarty recognizes brilliance when he sees it. Why be a nameless colonel in the British Army when I can do so much more?
And what exactly is more, Colonel Moran?
Why, anything I can imagine. Moriarty has operations all across the globe, each more profitable than the last.
Doing this for money.
Hardly. With each success, our control over the governments, peoples, and economies of the world grows. We can literally change borders. Why fight in the battlefield when you can orchestrate each side and profit from it, no matter the outcome? That is real power. That is real control. We can make governments fall, kings and queens bend to our will.
Delightful. Now I suppose you're going to kill us.
No. The professor walk this way, there will be no trouble.
Doctor?
We should do as he says, Mrs. Hudson. We're cornered.
That's right. Just like a good little soldier.
Mr. Holmes, please, I need a moment.
Very well, but only a moment. The longer we wait, the more precarious our situation. Allow me to see your arm.
How were they able to find us?
We traveled in too large of a group. It was foolish on my part.
How was this foolish?
There is a slight abrasion. Luckily, it is only superficial. A bit of pressure should remedy the problem. Here is some cloth.
Thank you. But you didn't answer my question. How was this foolish?
Emotion is a taxing element. It muddles the mind, and yet one can never truly be rid of such a base matter. At best, one can only hope to compensate for such trivialities. I fear I did not. If I had, this fanciful chase through the city would not have occurred, and I would not be responsible for endangering one I care about and harming the one he loves.
You are too hard on yourself.
I think not. If I had dealt with Moriarty on my own, you all would be safe.
That isn't true. We chose to be here. I chose to be here.
And I eagerly allowed all of you to follow me into this sin. Fine!
You have no control over others. People do not behave rationally all the time. Just as you cannot perfectly weather every emotion, neither can anyone else. People make mistakes, and there's no one to blame. If anyone was foolish, it was me. I thought I needed excitement, to go on an adventure, to do as you and John had done so many times, and to see the world as you both had seen it, as one grand escapade. Not once did I stop to consider the danger to myself or to John. It was selfish. I was happy, and now, dear God, if something happens, it will be my fault.
I sometimes wish I could see the world as you and what? You and John do. But I can only see the harsh potential for tragedy. Bleak and dismal.
Perhaps then we are both at fault, and equally not at fault. I only wish that we could be rid of this dark cloud that hangs over us, and I could return to the life I had with John.
For your sake, and for John's, I will do everything in my power to help you achieve that.
If only you could, Mr. Holmes. If only you could. Sebastian, kindly restrain Mr. Holmes and Mrs. Watson.
Gladly.
So, Mr. Douglas, there was more to you than I thought, though not very much.
Please, you may call me Colonel Sebastian Moran, and I must say, I thoroughly enjoyed watching you jump so eagerly at all the false breadcrumbs I left behind. It was so easy to trick you. I could barely resist laughing.
Your real name barely matters to me.
Quite cheeky, aren't we? I don't know which was more fun, tricking you or Miss Adler. There we go. And now for the lady.
Must you prolong this? Surely even you could tie a simple knot. And why you bother with Mrs. Watson is beyond me. She's nothing to me.
Bolder and bolder.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Did you think I was talking to you, Colonel Moran? I don't deal with inconsequential people. I was talking to your master.
I am not his servant. Though it may be hard for you to understand that, always having Dr. Watson around for so long. He really is quite the faithful hound. Hasn't said a word yet.
If you harm him, I will make you pay!
Such bravado and such a wasted effort. You are no longer in control of the situation. Bring them along.
Come now. Mustn't keep the professor waiting. Lively now! Behold the fruits of your labor. The Ashmolean will certainly never be the same.
Reveling in your minor victories, I had thought you were better than that.
Minor victories? This is where we bend the world to our will. Nothing to say.
If you're going to kill me, then you had best do it, and save me from listening to this blabbering.
Fuzzy devil, I don't know which is worse, him or that toe-get siren!
And the blathering continues. Tell me, is there no end to this boredom?
I'm a patient man, but even I have my limits. Moran, please go and attend to Mrs. Watson and then bring Miss Adler to us. Perhaps then Mr. Holmes would not be so bored.
May I deal with the doctor as I see fit?
Oh, enjoy yourself.
Excellent. It's been such a long time since I had a chance to hunt.
If you think I will cooperate, you are mistaken.
Well, then I shall simply have to provide motivation. Your powers of deduction are justly renowned. I propose we put them to the test. If you are able to unravel the mystery to my satisfaction, I shall reward you. If not, well, I'm certain you can infer what will happen.
Where is Mary? How can I be certain she is not already dead?
Curious compassion from one who said she was nothing. Here's your proof. Now, you are quite right. This evening has been rather dull. There is one other matter which may interest you. I'm a devotee of Dr. Watson's recollections of your work. One that I continue to return to is a study in Scarlet. And particularly fascinated by the logical puzzle of the lethal tablet. I think you will appreciate my take on the matter. Moran!
What have you done? Are you all right?
Sherlock,
This vial contained 2 identical tablets. One lethal, one merely sickens the recipient. They both inflict the same apparent ailment. I've given one to Miss Adler. Now, 'tis a pity, but I have no idea which one I gave her. I do have an antidote. If you can solve the mystery, I shall give it to you.
And what mystery